Oh.
Now I've done it.
Hello, everybody.
Hold on, better get this set up right and test your level. Okay. Give me a test.
Test.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3, test.
Fabulous.
Oh, looks like you're going to have to sing.
All right. Good thing I went and got some hot tea.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Waldo.
Nice to see you back, John. All right, let's see. There we go. Oh, I guess I better get a client open. And we have new live builds that have completed. This is nice. We start off and we got a lot of people in the stream already. Well, 90 something already. I don't feel like I have to sit around and wait and make small talk while people show up.
They like the fish?
They've said the frame rate in the fish tank is about as good as Britmart or something to that effect. It's on a USB 2 extender cable that goes across the room, so.
Oh, gotcha.
That's an electric blue Akara that's in screen right there that has the red thing on the top, the red fin. He's an amazing fish. If you get a fish tank and you just want to have one pair of fish, get a pair of those guys. Those guys are awesome. Totally peaceful, large, beautiful, super hardy, great fish. Fabulous. Amazing. Let's see. I'm starting up the client here, and then the fish will be going away. Do.
Oh, I did not update my little prize thing. Let me do that real quick.
All right. I've got the prizes in there. Oh, looks like they're already going. Let's see, Mandalar just gave 1,000 bits. Looks like they're already in the Hype Train level 2 already. For those who are new to the stream, every level of Hype Train completed gets you an extra round of prizes when we draw prizes at the end of the stream. I think that's going to be a permanent thing, is doing them at the end, so we can save time up front. Let's see. Hold on. Waiting for it. Oh yeah, so looks like now we're supposed to be started. But the update I had on the live build is I have a live build done. It looks, everything on it looks done. I've tested the GM client version of it. It looks done. This there's a few things in it. There's a few changes and bug fixes from Sanyo, not that much. And then the other thing I did was I refactored some old code we had in there that was no longer working. That was the being able to turn on an experience weekend, a double experience or plus 50% experience weekend. So that now will work again. So I'm going to try to get that patch out to you guys tomorrow morning. It's just too late and too many risks going on with the patch. I'm afraid I will have another patch apocalypse if I don't get a good test in on it first. Patch apocalypse is what I'm referring to the... Oh look, I got an 8.8 gig patch. Next day. Oh look, I got an 8.8 gig patch. Trying to avoid the 8.8 gig patches. I know you guys love seeding our torrents for us, but yeah, we'd rather that not happen again. And it also resulted, I'm sure we probably lost a few users because I saw a few people I knew who said, I can't install it, there's problems. And it was just, low disk space. When you have 8.8 gig patches, you need like an extra 30 disks or gigs of disk space, which a lot of people didn't have. But let's see. Let me get into game here, and I can turn off the fish. Somebody's backing up into the camera. Beep, 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 beep. Can't tell. I think that's Violet. Violet's Severum. Almost done, then the fishies will go away. And actually, you were saying Baron's Reach?
Yeah. I've seen them talked about quite a bit on the forums lately.
All right.
And it seems he keeps adding new neighborhoods to his town and stuff. It looks really nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's one of the ones that I went and I've done on a past stream that I liked. Just the organization of. I actually have. I'm going to start grabbing a few lots in places in a few towns. Maybe I'll grab one in Barron's Reach. I think I have one in Iron Hall right now. I think it's Iron Hall. I grabbed one. I just got it for testing purposes, but then figured I might as well keep it. They can kick me out if they get the town full. And we do have the question bot running. You can get questions in by doing !question, space, and then all your question, and I'll get to it, or we will get to it. Let's see. I guess we should probably introduce ourselves since we're officially on the stream here. We're 4 minutes in. Greetings and welcome to the Friday Shroud of the Avatar developer stream, where we get on here, give you guys some prizes, make you look at my fish, and then also answer a few questions here and there. I guess I can turn that fish off now. There we go. But today we didn't have any big agenda or items to show. We showed a new scene or two last stream. We also discovered that if we ever want to get Sanyo on the stream, all we have to do is try to show off something he's worked on and do it poorly, and he will show up magically out of thin air. So we'll see if that trick works on other people at some point here soon. Maybe we can get List Rostov on here. We can go show his map and see if he shows up. I know he's actually watching. He said he'd be in stream. We're having, here in Austin, we're having like the worst oak pollen in history. Yeah, it's like you go out to, we normally have horrible cedar, but this year it's horrible oak as well. Yeah, you go out to your car and you can actually just see like the little drifts of yellow snow on your car. It's pretty bad, but everybody on the team is exchanging stories of how horrible their allergies have been this week, so. Might have been so bad, I think it's what screwed up my sleep cycle. I think people know I normally get up at like 3:30 or 4 in the morning and start working. I've been sleeping until like 5 or 6 every day. It's tough. So I've been getting 8 hours of sleep, or at least 8 hours lying in bed, but it's rough here in Austin right now if you have any allergies at all. And if you live in Austin, you will eventually have allergies. But today I'm running around Barron's Reach. Let me just go ahead and set game time here. No one wants to see a town in the dark. But today, let's see. So we're coming up. We're like 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, 3 weeks away from our next release, which is a talk release, which means we will hopefully have a couple new maps for you. Probably some new skills from chatter going on within the team. I'm getting the okay, and I threw out that I wanted to do a bunch of new combos and get them in for this release. And I think most people on the team said, yes, here's a ton of ideas. And then a couple of people on the team said, oh, my lord, no, I don't have time to do insert whatever part of it is here. So we've been brainstorming ways to do it with minimal work, or getting other people to do the VFX and icons and such. But for combos, you only see the icon for like a second or two, so we will see. Also, I'm curious, this is something that came up within the team. Someone on the team threw out that our icons in the game, if they could fix any one art thing, the thing they'd fix would be the icons. They really hate our icons. And that would be like the skill icons you see down here, or you see over here. But what do you guys think? I mean, we kind of have, there's a little bit of, it was intentionally kind of done to be, oh, did we get, what did we end up on with the hype train? Level 2, so we got to do 4 rounds today. What are your guys' thoughts on the icons? We got some love-ums I see out there. Yeah, this is one of those things I never really thought these icons were that bad. We wanted to be simple and clear. I know they're not super pretty, but they're clear enough that you can usually tell what's going on and recognizable, and they have a color pattern to them. So, all right, we got a few people out there. Love the icons, see? I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, I like the icons too. I think it's just the UI around the icons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lack of UI around the icons, and that a lot of our UI feels like it's unfinished because it was intentionally oversimplified. Let's see. The Lotro icons are horrible. One is even pastel colored, and you can't tell when it's enabled. Nothing wrong with the icons. Waste of time. There you go. That's what I like here in DWWP. Change barred icons. That's the first feedback we've had on the barred icons. But yeah, so anyway, the barred icons may look a little too similar for a lot of them. We want them to be easily recognizable. There's a known bug for barred for all being ice field. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me, Hondas? I will fix that immediately after the stream. I know exactly what that is. That came up when I did the unifying them all last time around. So I know that's an easy fix. I will get that soon. All right, good to hear that you guys don't hate our icons. The one thing with the UI that doesn't need to be redone.
Check.
Vegas BLT icons are fine. Too many other things to fix. Agree. Okay, so when that person on the team speaks up, we will be smacking them down and telling them the icons are just fine and dandy. But anyway, so this release, a talk release, we should have some bigger things coming out for you guys. I will be taking a look at some performance stuff here. I've lost a week or so just due to various issues and build issues. The patch apocalypse stuff wasted several days of my time. And I will probably lose another day or two of time because that's one of the stability issues we've had that's been ongoing, that some people say they just can't play the game because stability is not great, which everything I've seen in terms of call stacks and stuff comes down to thread racing issues. And so the common issue with one whole set of those is, one type is it's on a AMD Ryzen, one of the new Ryzen chips. You're not going to be able to see it there, but I finally, that chip I've been saying I was going to get for like 3 months or whatever, is finally here. So I will be working on some of that stuff. And yeah, that's the other thing, is some people have like a good CPU, better CPU than other people. They should be faster, but it's not. And actually, one of the things I was looking at from looking into a couple of the reports is the way the new Ryzen or the new AMD chips work. If you have one, it depends on what series it is, but if you have one that has more than 8 cores, I think it may be more than 6 cores on the lower ones, but they actually switch to what they call a chiplet. Here's our tech talk part. They switch to a chiplet layout, where it is actually, instead of it being like 8 cores or 10 cores or 20 cores or whatever it is like Intel does on theirs, they actually break it down into multiple chiplets. So each chiplet will have like 4 cores on it or 6 cores on it. And that seems to be one of the common things in terms of a few things that have shown performance problems, is when you move from the ones that go from the chip to the chiplets, where it's multiple chiplets within it. So that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at, to see if it's possibly something with that. Now, the reason I mentioned that and the stability issue could also be performance issue, but one of the places where the only place we've really seen any stability is Unity has some problems with some thread racing issues internally. For most people, it's fine, and they're really hard to reproduce unless you're one of the people who can reproduce them. Then it's really easy for you to reproduce, unfortunately. But the chiplet thing introduces some severe lag in some situations between threads, which could be causing some extra thread racing issues. So that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. 3900X, haven't seen any crashing issues. All right, well, you guys are not helping my stats there, but I'm going to be looking at it, though, because that is one of my theories on it, is that the people who are having issues it is a thread racing issue, and it is a problem that is aggravated by the design of the AMD CPUs. Vesper 5800X is Crossfire. I know you were having problems, Crossfire. You're one of the ones I was looking at trying to identify some of this stuff for, and hoping to get a couple more machines in here that match you guys. But Vesper, the 5800X is a single chiplet. It's the top of the single chiplet. That's why a lot of people say it's the best one for games. It's because it's single chiplet and you don't have to worry about the multiple chiplet thing causing problems. All right, enough time on tech talk stuff. Let me fly around the town here. You guys can get some questions in there. Do we have any other big updates to get to here before I start pasting some questions over to you and flying around the town?
Well, I can give them some information about the salvage work I've finished so far.
Awesome. Go for it.
Is that fine?
Yep. Do it.
Okay. So guys, I don't know if I've talked about this before or not, but like in detail, but the salvage work, where you're going to break components down from artifacts, that'll be next release, and possibly split into 2 releases. It's going to be a lot of work. We don't get them all done 1 month. We'll get a bunch of them. But mundane salvage, I've already got done, and I'm just waiting on a tech piece from Chris to help with it. But basically, mundane salvage, I don't know, there's like 125 items, something like that. Anything from your little spice jars to your spice bowls to rusty spatulas to dirty forks and spoons and dirty rolling pins and dirty cutting boards, et cetera, et cetera. And so what I've gone in, I've looked at every single image of each of those items and kind of glanced to see, well, what would it salvage into? Oh, that's all metal. Oh, that's metal with a little bit of wood. Oh, that's a lot of wood with a little bit of metal. That's metal and glass. That's metal glass in a liquid, metal glass in a powder, and put them into all these different categories for salvage bundle tables. And also did a lot of renaming of these mundane items to make them a little more generic, like spice bowls and spice jars. They're going to be now jar with white powder, jar with orange powder, that kind of thing. So then when they break down into salvage, I can put more logical things into the loot table for that salvage bundle where it's not just a spice. It could be an upcoming one called bone powder, for instance. And yes, all your different types of bones can salvage into bone powder, including your PvP bones. Even the dragon bone throne, I put a salvage table into it, so you can salvage it into a variety of bone types, and then you can break those bones further down if you want. So if you look at like the test tube rack, it's got a wooden stand on it, and it's got glass test tubes, and it's the filled version, so it's got a liquid. So you have the option to get some wood components, some glass components, and there'll be more use for quartz coming up. So that'll be your primary thing coming from glass, with chances to get the gem fragments and things like that, and then a little bit of chance to get pure elemental sand. Wood, you'll have a small chance to get ashen heartwood. If it's something big like a yoke or a plow, you might get an entire board or a pole or something. Now keep in mind your stolen versions will still yield you salvage results, but at a lesser chance of getting the goodies at the bottom. And the primary goodie will be slightly smaller as well, but you'll still be able to salvage all that stuff. Already looked at the gold goblets, the silver goblets. Essentially, you'll get 8 to 12 silver scraps if it's a stolen one, which could be up to what you need for the recipe, because you need 12 for the recipe to complete to get the gold or silver ingot with that. And then if it's one that you actually got in loot, it's going to give you a bigger batch of those scraps. I think up to 16 or something like that. So, but you'll definitely have I think like 12 to 16. But so in any case, your salvage is going to be a lot better in terms of all that mundane stuff. Maps will be given wood pulp. I haven't done recipes or patterns yet. And then I've got some ideas coming up for, I'm not even going to express a time frame for it, but when you salvage some of these things, you'll start finding mysterious objects that essentially have their own recipes, and maybe those recipes have to be discovered. And you're trying to basically identify the item, and then who knows what it'll end up being, and what list of items could be a mysterious potion or a mysterious sword or a mysterious whatever. So that kind of stuff. So, but the mysterious object stuff's probably not until R92 or R93, somewhere in there, just where I start trickling those in. That's what I got for salvage.
Just flying around admiring the town and the setup stuff they have here. Yeah, they've done a great job setting up.
Isn't it a nice thing?
Yeah, little points of interest, and not everything crammed right together, but quite a few houses in here, and then some more little houses on the outskirts, and whole little sections over here if you don't want to be in the downtown area. Yeah, I was especially taken by this little setup. I hope this is Valis's spot here, because this is super sweet little setup here. I love the little wall
Oh,
castle
yeah.
look.
That is cool. This little keep area.
All right, well, I threw some questions up there. I was trying to think if there were any other big things here. But yeah, I mentioned the experience weekends, the bonus experience weekends coming up. I also just had to walk through that code. That was something I hadn't looked at in a while, to go and figure out what was up and where things stopped breaking, and then refactor some of it. But now that I'm familiar with it, I'm going to go do a few more things. One of the things I'm going to do is turn it so you guys always get a lot of experience on QA. So QA will always be like a 10x experience scene, like whenever you go test on QA. Because if you're over there on QA, we want you to, one, feel rewarded for being on QA, but also be able to, we add a new skill. Great, let's give you, you should be earning experience fast. So that, and also, what was the other one I was going to add to the QA? Let's see. Denarius? But anyways, adding a few items to the QA just so we can get you guys over there. But again, the bonus experience weekend will probably start tomorrow morning. If my tests all pass on the patch stuff, then I'm going to push out a build to you guys tomorrow morning. So let's see. But yeah, that's really cool, especially with the blood water and all. Let me jump in and find some questions here. I saw a bunch of good ones coming in.
Hey, I got one already.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Go for it.
Second one. From Coswald Dirthmeyer, after changes to exceptional items are implemented and all crafted items receive full durability regardless, will previously non-exceptionals be given plus 50 durability retroactively? And the answer is no. It's only going to be for crafted items from the point of the patch and on that'll be receiving the additional durability.
Now, are you changing the durability on the archetype, or is there... I know you and Beezus have been working on that stuff, but are you changing the actual item durability, or is it a new bonus?
Yes, but not until... So basically every archetype of gear, whether it's an artifact or it's one of the crafted archetypes, they all had to be duplicated.
Okay.
And then with unique names to say, well, this is the plus durability version. And then those archetypes will receive the additional durability. And in that regard, guys, we'll have very standardized durabilities henceforth for like slots going across. This is a good opportunity to clean them all up and make sure they're all aligned across the board. And one thing too is we'll be putting an extra 20 durability onto two-hander, melee two-hand. So they'll be 220 durability instead of 200, just to help a little bit more with giving two-handers some love, and other things in the future too. But yeah, so ultimately we're weaning out the ability to make any of those older items. So like for instance, in loot tables, all the new versions of those archetypes have to be replace the old versions in those loot tables. The same with the recipes; their results have to be the new version. It's pretty extensive change, and then also the upgrade recipes for artifacts have to take the new and old versions of each artifact. So and then output the new version, because we want you to be able to still be able to upgrade using the old. And we have a kind of similar to the tech challenge, Chris, with the salvage that Well, I just discovered today, and I've been talking with B, and he's going to try to think of a workaround. But I can put 4 of the old ones. So I basically had to make a classification for every artifact. So Cutlass is Swashbuckler common, and then it's a 2-thing classification with both of them. So the recipe will take 4 of the old ones or 4 of the new ones, but it won't let me mix and match. And that seems to be a common issue with a lot of different crafting things, where it lets you have options. I don't know if that's something that can be fixed or if we have to think of a workaround.
Beezus knows that stuff 10 times better than me. That may be one we need to get Wizard Smoke on to at least guide you or Beezus in the right direction for that.
Cool.
And for those people who just saw me flying and then hit escape and then like freeze in midair for a while, that was because I was flying over the lot, but the lot hadn't loaded, and it won't let you enter a lot area until like certain decos have loaded onto it. So that was me sticking to the top of the lot while the lot loaded. Someone had said something about volume not working if you turn it all the way down.
If you turn off the sounds and back on, the sounds don't work at all.
I wonder if there's... I'm not doubting that they're right. I'm not seeing it, which of course means it's going to be fun to repro. Yeah, I'm hearing everything right now, so... so that probably means there's some other special thing going on just for that person who was saying about the sounds. That's what I was trying to reproduce. The next one I had a question I was going to answer, speaking of bugs, is... Azazel Reborn asking about fix AFK. We're being logged off quicker than before. I don't think you're being logged off quicker than before. I think some people are being logged off the same. I have had people on the team try and reproduce this. We have not had any luck reproducing it on the team. And I know it happens to you guys. I see some people are logged in. I saw somebody was logged in for like 38 hours straight, and then I see other people don't last that long. So again, everybody has their theory as to what the cause is and why you get booted. But I am digging into server stuff right now, fixing a bunch of server stuff. I try to avoid touching things on the server as much as possible, just because, it's a place where introducing a server problem can be nasty business and cause problems. And so I try not to touch anything unless something's really broken. But I am digging in the server stuff right now, so I'm going to be looking to see if there's something server side that can be causing it. I definitely have disabled what's going on in the client, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. Yeah,
a question from Matt Chef of Xenos. Will the attunement artifacts like Son of the Halberd of the Sun or the Shard of Night get components to salvage, so it can be more flexible with builds for the magic tree? So ultimately I want all the artifacts to break down into components. There'll be some balancing, of course, kind of like what we did for food, and with very, very close attention to make sure the purely crafted components also are very, very viable. Maybe some love to the base crafted item as well, to make sure that the base stats of the item, even before you enchant and masterwork it, are more significant. And then, everything hopefully will have by R90 and R91 will be when I work on all those components. So hopefully I'll be done with all of them.
Save to Grill asks a good one here. How does one obtain the GM potions for video content creation? And I am all for video content creation. That's the big thing I've been promoting. That seems to be our most effective ad options, is having videos that show the game that we promote in terms of getting people through. We're doing a pretty big push on that right now to get a lot of new people in. If you've been seeing a lot of new people, anyways, go ahead.
I put a link there. That's a sticky thread in both of the one-time event and the recurring event forums. And it just has the request procedures, and it's really just a matter of just PMing me or Lainey, that you would like them. But it always starts with you posting an event in the events forum, saying, okay, here's my event. Now can I have GM potions for it? Yeah, and that kind of stuff.
I have given a few people recently who said they were going to make some videos for me. I gave them some GM potions.
Oh yeah,
there
for
are people
slewing and stuff.
Yeah, just for using that type of stuff to show off some stuff. But something I was also planning to do for QA, is I'm sitting here trying to make QA a place you guys want to spend a little more time on, is making it so nobody needs to be flagged. Everybody is eligible on the QA server.
Oh, neat.
For those who don't know how the system works, we don't have official like full-time GMs or something like that. What we do instead is we have, if you're interested in running a GM event and you're a longtime player who's run events, done stuff, shown that they're a long-term community member type person, someone we can trust, we can flag your account. And we kind of have a two-step process. One is we have to flag your account, and we give it a GM-capable flag. And then, in addition to that, we have to give you a consumable potion that's a no-trade potion that we can send to you, that then you use that potion, and it will enable your GM ability for a certain number. I think it does it for 2 hours or an hour. But anyways, it'll give you lesser GM abilities for some amount of time so you can run events. Now, it lets you summon creatures, it lets you summon players, teleport around, fly like what I was doing, which makes it great for video capture stuff. In case you're wondering, the creatures don't generally have loot when you summon them. If that's something you guys want to do, there's a lot of people out there who do run events and they use that. So happy to get you some potions. If you want to do it for video content creation, just make sure and talk to me or Elgarion or someone in game. But I'm hoping to open up all of QA for that type of creation. I know that's not something you can get a lot of players on, and if you're trying to you're hosting a PvP tournament somewhere, or a jousting tournament or something, whatever little event you're doing, dance party, whatever, it's tough to get those people on QA, so I totally understand if you need it on live. So just be aware that, whenever you do stuff using the GM commands, it all goes to one of our logs, and it's pretty visible to everybody on the team. But yeah, and that is, like I said, that's a two-step process of your account getting flagged and getting potions, and then you use the potions for the event. So, I would definitely do that for some video content creation if you're someone who has a serious interest. I know Save to Grill, I've seen your Twitch stream a number of times, so absolutely could help you out with that if you want to make some video content creation for us. And when I say us, make videos for your channel, your YouTube, your whatever, and then we'll promote that for you. Because that's actually what we've been doing that's been showing really good response in terms of getting players into the game, is just letting them see the game. You got one?
Nope, not yet.
The sometimes lurker. Will the large and huge wyverns in the Well of Alder be tameable soon? I don't think that's on anyone's list right now, but it should be on somebody's list. I know wyverns are not one of the more popular ones out there. There is going to be some work. Oh, that's right. I need to turn on the proper response for creature power so that they respect resistance and all those things. This is something that I was going to do. I found the bug last release, but it was a change that would have such sweeping results that I didn't want to do it 3 days before it released. So I need to go turn that on. I'll get that onto QA for you guys soon. Let's see. Azazel Reborn asked an important one there, which is, when are you going to make the feature change documents for players to see what's changing in the game? That is something that I've started, and again, I lost a lot of time this week to a number of things trying to get our servers going again. For those, server QA was down for a couple days as things got borked in some pretty ugly ways, so a lot of time clean up on that. But I am the guy who's doing the feature stuff, which is going to be a Python script that we run on our own stuff that basically lets us all document our changes. I hope to have that live. I've been doing pulling the changes for the notes, which I think has been working better in terms of getting those out there. At least I know it makes Elgarion's life a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
To have that happen, and it lets everybody on the team document their own stuff. But we do not have it quite to a level of doing that for QA right now, and we need to get to that point. I need to get the guys into the habit of making sure your comments are formatted properly so we can just rip them out. But I'll give my usual responsive soon. Let's see. Go ahead.
Question from Elwin Moon. Did you get to look at the leather from Scrap Recipe 2 hides make 2 leather, but 1 hide and scrap makes only 1 leather. I just thought I'd written that down before somewhere. It's probably on a notepad, Elwin, but I did wrote it down on my this month to-do list, so I'll try to get it done for R89.
Zezel Reborn has one that's interesting. If you cast a 1-hour buff and you enter several basements and a dungeon, that buff drops after going through 4 basements or dungeons. Is that every time, or is I thought there was one that I know one and only looked at for days and finally just threw up his hands on. There's a random rare. Sometimes when you would enter it, change scenes, your buff, you'd lose your buff basically. But I didn't think it was a fix. If it's a fixed number, if it's something that's reproducible like that, I would love to take a look at it, because I love looking at reproducible bugs. Just like if the AFK thing was reproducible, then that's easy to fix. The problem is we haven't had anybody with luck reproducing it. Let's see. The Sometimes Lurker. Please give the Wyverns an attack speed buff. There's a massive gap between when they do and do or don't attack. That's surprising to me. Do you have one to answer there? I can go check and see what they look like.
Yeah, we got, and I don't know what this will open up, but we got somebody asking, Crossfire Bug's Eye. On our lot deed screen, can we get the option to bind to one of the lots for the recall scroll? And so, yeah, you get a list of all your deeds there, and right-clicking and saying bind to lot would be kind of cool, but if you own the lot, why not just be able to teleport to it? That'd be kind of cool, too. Let me see if I got one.
Yeah, I was just trying to look at the Wyverns to see what's up. They look like they should be attacking fairly quickly. That's surprising to hear that they don't. It looks like they have 2 attacks. They have their tail attack, and then they have their weapon attack. Their weapon attack has got a 2-second cooldown. The tail has an 8. I wonder if there's an issue with if they're trying to do the 8-second one, they actually wait between it. But I'm kind of guessing it's a consistent thing. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. It should not be long at all. Pets move very slowly since the combat speed reduction, especially summons. Yeah, the Sometimes Lurker says they're just there for a couple seconds after each attack. That's surprising. I can just completely take out the cooldown. They shouldn't have a cooldown. That may be what's going on, is it does a 1 second. The attack only takes a second, but then it has a 2-second lag after each attack. And that may be what they're actually seeing. There's no reason for them to have a cooldown on them. Done. Doing it. The pets move very slow after combat speed reductions. That's surprising, but that sounds like that was absolutely not intended. But that may be an easy fix as well. So let me make sure and get that one on my list of things to fix. Hold on. Oh, you can go ahead and answer one if you have one.
Yeah, could you paste more in, please? I'm running out of stuff on it I can answer. Let's see here. Here's one for you, Chris, that maybe while you're doing that you can answer. What is your vision for the future of Ransom?
Oh, so that's a good one to bring up. Let me paste these in for you. So that's one, if you guys saw I turned off Ransom. That was actually a couple of players that requested that. One, there was also a bug that came up that you could exploit. I don't think it actually was ever... I mean, it's one of those things where, yes, it probably shouldn't happen, but, you know, the total number of times it probably was used or did something effective you could probably count on one hand over the past year. But also I had some players who were trying to teach a bunch of players PvP, trying to get them to PvP, and Ransom was a turn-off for them. So I actually turned it off for now. The number of PvPers, there's been like 200 PvP deaths a day since I turned it off. So
nice.
Players actually not surprisingly, are pretty positive on the PvP without Ransom right now. So for the future Ransom, I think, well, one, we've got to fix a few bugs with it before I'm going to turn it back on. Two, I think there's some balance issues. If you've done the Ransom things, again, some of this is just goes back to the old days where we were really trying to be, emulate a bunch of the features and feelings from older games like Ultima Online, obviously, and some of the Ultima games. But the result was, in a modern MMO, it just ends up, you may have fond feelings or memories of it, but in a modern MMO, it just feels very tedious. That one has some stuff in it that to do PvP with Ransom right, you end up playing very tedious mechanics. Like, you're rewarded for things like, carrying around a bunch of little crap items, splitting your stacks, even though you don't need to, but splitting your stacks so that they don't get whole stacks of things. It's a bunch of stuff like that where it's silly stuff that you could do it, and maybe good PvPers are like, I'm the best PvPer, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I got my 4 bags of crap that I keep here that are all lightweight and all that stuff. But it's not something that I think most players, it discourages players from PvPing because there's some of those mechanics that end up in reality just being tedious. So for right now, Ransom is turned off. I'm going to take a look at Ransom in terms of changing what gets Ransom, update that logic. That hasn't had a pass in a long time. And then we will probably turn it back on, but we'll probably turn it back on selectively, not throughout the entire game. So,
Well,
go ahead.
I inadvertently, Sanyo was showing me some stuff today to work in scene-specific stuff, and I got to see where I can change the loot for scenes and also set adventure level and skill level caps. I don't know, there's been some interest that all the PvP scenes are a variety of settings, some of them no loot, some of them with loot, some of them capped, some of them not capped, just so there would be more variety in the different types of PvP they could do when they went around. I don't know if that'd be a good idea for me to dive into that or not.
Let's see. Radicus was asking about VR and QA. For those who remember, I talked about VR earlier in the year because I was going to get my new CPU and start working on the VR stuff because the current system I have is pretty unstable and doing local builds is agonizing and kind of a crapshoot as to whether or not my computer will reboot. But I was waiting for the new CPU to arrive. So that's there. So I will start working on some VR stuff again. I should be able to do some builds pretty quick going forward. Let's see.
Got a question here. When will we be able to enchant the Ringmaster vest? So one of the benefits to, and this is from Kathy888, one of the benefits of me doing this archetype or item by item review and duplication is I'm spotting all the discrepancies, which classifications things are not in that prevented it from getting enchanted, all that kind of stuff. It'll all be very visible as I go through all of it. So those all should be fixed when I'm done getting this all ready for the exceptional work. And then also noticing things like weird durability deviations, like the shepherd's crook. That's going to be all working just great, just like a staff that can be enchanted and masterworked and all that kind of stuff, and have the same durability as a two-hander. It's going to go up to 220 durability for the shepherd's crook, so that'll be nice for folks. And it's easy to spot those aberrations as I'm working through each item. So I hope to have them all fixed, and if not, just report them, and I'll be pretty knowledgeable about where they're all at and how to fix them, after I get it all done.
Somebody who was asking there, where is it? Mad Chef was asking, what's the average frame rate for players with high-end gaming machines? And the answer for that is it depends a lot. I can pull this up and let me make sure there's no reason not to show you guys this. There's nothing in there. And if you're thinking you're going to write down the IP address and go like, I got an IP address, that's an internal IP address, 192.168. You're not going to get anywhere with that. But anyways, this was just a quick graph of one of the ones I look at of the standard FPS median frame rate over time throughout the entire game. This is one that when I make a change that I'm hoping will make some improvement globally, I hope to see a little bit of a hit here, but really what I look at is it's by map, because I think people know most maps on a decent machine with a decent modern video card, a 10 series NVIDIA, or I don't even know what the AMD one to compare that to, the 580s or whatever. But most of those will run like 60 frames per second in most scenes in the game until you get to some of the more heavily decoed pots. That's what I'm working on. I'm actually, again, doing another pass on using some of the problem maps. Problem usually means amazing maps, in that it's a pot that has a lot of people in it with a lot of deco, that is a lot of the cooler decos that may have VFX, that may have lights to them. So I'm doing a lot of the performance work on those. And we all know that those are where the problems end up cropping up. Let's see. There's some frame rate stuff that I'm not working on, which is the stuff as like scene load FPS. There's always going to be some stuff in that I've looked into what's causing that, and that's beyond our control. Unless we were to load everything in the scene right up front, which is a lot of work and could leave a lot of people sitting there for a long period of time. So that, like, you load into a new town the first time and you get worse frame rate for a little while you're running around town. That type of stuff is going to be there for a while. The stuff I'm trying to work on is you're in your house, you're doing deco stuff, you're running to the corner. That's the frame rate that I try to work on, is just trying to do the normal moving through town stuff. But this type of stuff where you're running through town and deco's loading, you're always going to get a little performance hit. I'm trying to fix the parts where you're in a town, you're at a dance party or tea party or whatever type event, over somebody showing you crafting at their house, whatever it is, and you get some bad frame rates while you're standing around the same area once it's been fully loaded. So that's one thing that I'm working on. The other category things I'm working on is still working on some combat stuff. We got some changes in. I have not actually been to look. I've not been back to look to see how much of an improvement we made with the Devil Cults changes. But in these type situations, I would love to have it so everything always runs at 30 on a decent machine. I'm not there in this town. I'm there in most pots. But again, that's kind of the punishment of the unfortunate downside of having a really well-decoed lot. Now, again, I'm running in fantastic mode with full shadows and all that, everything on. But let's see. If I just turn off shadows is usually the big killer. Hello. What's in load time? So even with stuff turned off in this one, I'm still low. This is the thing that I'm trying to work on, which really is just going to end up being more aggressive hiding of decos, because there's no CPU load here that is being created by our systems. This is CPU load in the render thread. It's not GPU load. If you're thinking if I had a better GPU or something, it's not actually GPU load. It's in these situations, it's almost always CPU load generated by the render thread, which is just a matter of too many objects. So there's a lot of work that could be done that would help this frame rate. And some of them's just, there's a lot of really tough decisions on what to show and what not to show. Like you're running by a house, we could actually get a good performance frame rate boost if we hit everything in the house, but then you wouldn't have this type of thing where I'm running by this house, and you know what, that actually looks kind of cool that I'm running by the house and you can see decos in his windows. But it's that type of work that I think I'm going to have to make. There's going to be some times where I have to make some tough decisions and do hide some of that stuff, or at least update our rules on what stuff is visible when. Or just move everybody to have closed blinds. Because, you can see there's a guy in there. Marsha the Magic Merchant. But anyways,
Yeah, I thought we did have
What?
an option to cull interior decoration in video settings.
We do. It doesn't work well. It's not aggressive. It has some bad logic in it. I've stepped through it before, and it made me cry a little bit. But it is one of those things I would love to get in there. And also, I think some people think that like this right here, this type thing, like the fields of cotton type stuff, that this is tough on the frame rate. This is actually not that bad. Having a bunch of identical objects that are rendering together in a small space is not that big of a deal in terms of performance. That is not the big thing. It's really a lot of just the variety of stuff, which, hey, guess what? We want a lot of variety of stuff in there. I could go on and on about the performance stuff. I'm sure there's maybe some devs out there who are screaming out ideas for ways to improve things or fix things, or using texture sheets or atlases or all that type of stuff, so that we can do more batching or texture, different texture pages. So a lot of that stuff is decisions that you have to make that can be limiting later on. And there are also things like, okay, well, you end up making atlases for stuff. Well, unless you're only going to have a couple pages of atlas, it ends up being problematic, because you may only have one deco and it has to pull in all these giant atlases for it. So again, the big thing I need to do is get in and do some more aggressive culling of interior stuff for things. We do already bake stuff together out there, so that a lot of these things only drop to a single draw call in case you're a graphics guy. We do also have looked into, there's a lot of problems that you can come up with that if you get into a big situation like that, where if you're a graphics guy out there and like, hey, if you baked all these things into a single object, you'd have one giant high poly object, and then every light that touches it may force a re-render. We do use deferred rendering again for the graphics guys. But of course, then if you have shadows on, then you're redrawing that for every light that touches it, and you're drawing a million polygon object over and over again. But anyways, performance is always on my mind. There's still some things that can be done. It's just tough to make improvements that don't make people cry. And this is, these biggest towns like what I'm in right here are pretty much the worst frame rate areas in the game. But it's where people spend a lot of their time in the game. If you go to Novi or any of those things, I try to make sure that those run 60 FPS, on pretty much any machine most of the time. Encounter scenes, same thing. Most combat scenes. So.
Got a question from Agent Chronicles. Is T, and this kind of applies to a lot of things that were recently reduced in sale price to a vendor, to a merchant, is it going back to its regular price? Currently not even worth buying the seeds at water cost. And this, of course, is in reference to vendor trashing it. So the whole point of the changes to the pricing of agriculture produce was to encourage more sales between players and not just growing things to vendor trash. So yeah, I mentioned on the forums, I don't know if you're the same person that was bringing it up there, but I'm going to re-review all those prices, but ultimately they may even become unavailable on merchants as well, but you'd still be able to sell to a merchant. But yeah, I'll look at the prices and analyze how much it costs to grow, and get, and yada, yada, yada. I had to calculate it out when I was growing mandrake, garlic, and nightshade as well to see what my profit was. And I'll do that and make sure you can make some profit, but no, it'll definitely be more profitable to sell to players, and is not to promote a do something for vendor trash concept.
All right, let me jump back into some questions here. Let's see. Ooh, Dice says, can we please get our first seasonal tameable pet? The Death Bunny would be great. Wow. We were just talking about the Death Bunny because someone ran a couple of great in-game events for Easter, and I told them it's so much better than my usual Easter event, which is I'll just go somewhere invisible and summon 30 Death Bunnies and let them slaughter everybody. Not a great Easter event, but yeah, Death Bunny tameable. I'm trying to think. That would be fun. I think we'd have to nerf its stats pretty severely, but just in terms of looks and movement speed, I'm trying to think. The movement speed on it's pretty insane, which is part of what makes it cool. So yeah, we'd have to figure out how to balance it. I would not be opposed to it. I'm sure there's some people who may be opposed to death bunnies. Let's see. Oh, and that frame rate chart I showed you, that was just everybody in game, average of every scene. The reality is the frame rate for most people in most scenes, other than heavily populated pots, is in the 40 plus. Most people just stuck on 60. Occasionally I see people who obviously don't have a 60 hertz monitor, because I see frame rates of like 130 and 140, 144 frames per second people out there. Yeah, the frame rate is good overall. It's just problem areas and trying to improve those problem areas. Let's see. Crescent Plays says, why is Soda, in all caps, why is Soda using 80% of my CPU, making it too hot? That's actually good compared to where we were. Obviously we'd love to do more with less CPU, but compared to the old days, people would be complaining, why am I not getting good frame rate, but my CPU is only using 30%. So that is us trying to use more cores. But yeah, 80%, you're probably on a quad core, and that sounds about right. We'll usually use about 3 to 4 cores now, so sorry we're making your CPU hot, though.
Got a question, and from Y sold on chat. Any chance you will change the cookie dough recipe? With the amount of ingredients that's needed, it should yield 10 dough. I'll look at it at the same time as that leather scrap recipe, and hopefully probably R89. If it needs some love, it'll get some love. Good catch, thank you.
While I got you on here, Mr. Amazing Loot Wizard Man, Vic Cannon asks, can loot bundles get a once-over? Seems most of the blue bundles are gray loot. Just thinking loot bundles, yeah, are definitely like one of those things that, are around the game and players find rewarding. But they're also getting to the point of, other loot has been made cool enough. Now loot bundles probably feel a little crummy. So that'd be a good one for you to get on your list.
I don't think in all that common artifact work, I don't think I looked at the bundles. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be a good one, because that's just 4 or 5 loot bundles you can go take a look at and try to work a little magic on. Belladonna Rose is asking, any news from Ravlox when he's going to be working on dungeon stuff? Please. Hopefully soon. I think he just this week, I know a few of you probably know his story. His wife passed away earlier this year, and he has been dealing with stuff and trying to get the kids who were living with his wife situated, and house situation, and all the things that go along with that are crazy. But I think he just posted, he's on our chat all the time, he's probably in here right now, but I think he just posted to his Facebook page letting people know that he's just about out from underwater, and letting other people who are not as intimately familiar with the situation know what's going on. But hopefully soon.
We got another question from Crossfire Bugseye. When will we see more single spawners like the tier 15 lich spawner? Soon. I want to do it in a big grind, Crossfire. And right now I've got a bunch of big grinds planned already for this month and next month, but maybe the month after that, because that also another big grind coming up is I want to make sure you guys can. I'll experiment with it. I think I can do it, where you can place your tamed pets as NPCs on your lot, like decorative pets, maybe. I don't know. Might be able to figure it out. But that's one of the grinds I want to do, but I also want to wait until our new programmer, David Devicolt, gives it a seal of approval before I mass produce it. Right now they're working on trying to fix a bunch of decoration pet stuff and inky stuff. And it probably would have been better to get all that stuff fixed before I had made 90 of them. So, yeah.
I have one of the other questions that just came up is, when is Devicolt going to get tagged as a dev? I'm not sure if I can tag people as a dev. I just tried to tag him. Dev wasn't an option. Mod was an option, so I tagged him as a mod.
Oh, they said in Discord though, right?
Yeah, I'm in Discord right now, so
Oh,
I
okay.
probably just don't have. Yeah, see, I don't have I can make him a mod, but I can't make him a dev. I'm not sure who. That's probably going to be Ravlox. I'm going to guess he has the full privilege on stuff like that. Yeah, roles. I can make him a dev plus. I can make him a hospitaler. I can make him a bot, and I can make him a mod. So I made him a mod, so he'll be up there a little bit higher, so you can tell he's somebody special. And yeah, that is something to make sure we keep people aware that if he says something, he's not just being, a silly noob. He is a silly noob, but he's now a silly noob dev rather than a silly noob player. So, big step up for him. Let's see. You got tons more questions here. Oh, it's already 5 o'clock. Let me start the prizing real quick.
Okay. You want to go through community events yet?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. Go ahead and go over. Are you going to talk about the Easter event? Give any updates on that? You don't have
Well,
to.
I wasn't there as part of it. That was Devil Cult and I can't remember. We had one other dev working on that, right? Laney.
Laney was working on it. Yes.
Laney, that's right.
And we just have 4 prizings today.
Yeah. And but that was, I think, over this past weekend. She mentioned that the last egg bundle was found. So I guess that marks the end of the contest. But there's still a lot more events going on here in the future, guys. And it sounds like Laney's really excited to run some more as well, and maybe Devil Cult too. But of course, we have the Catnip Games monthly fishing tourney and the monthly screenshot and video contest. Lots of great prizes there, and we'll promote your YouTube channel and all that stuff. If you're a winner there. Catnip Games monthly treasure hunting contest. We've got, of course, still folks, if you'd like to chime in, say goodbye to Boris Mondragon. That thread's still up on the forums. New Britannia Theater Troupe needs you guys. They're looking for voice actors and people to participate in the plays and all that kind of stuff. So contact Asclepius on the forums. And this was just a new one that came in recently. Violet Ronzo posted a video up on the YouTubes about his experiences with the Bard build and taking on Razorback destroyers. And he even goes through some deck stuff as well and shows you how he builds out his Bard. It's pretty interesting. We also got the Mysteria fishing contest all month long and the Pack Slayer fishing contest all month long. We got Avatar Express spotlights for Iron Hall and Phoenix Haven still up, and I just saw that they were about to have 2 more posted, I think. And also recent Beat of Novia episodes still linked up there for you guys if you missed out. Recurring events, the Iron Hall Royal Races are back for this month. And I think it's mid-April, like April 17th, somewhere in there. I don't have that actual date written on the thing. The Barons Reach new player welcome event where new players that just by popping over and letting yourself be known in their town, and actually we're in Barons Reach right now, Chris is 10,000 gold, so let yourself be known as you walk into Barons Reach and participate in that program as a new player. The Mad Spider Tea Party is coming up on April 18th. 3 p.m. Central in Mysteria. We got the release party poll still going on by the Avatar and Virtue Radio folks. I believe it's still open. It might have just closed. Let's see. It is... I can't tell at quick glance. But yeah, it's that's available as well. And what else do we got? We got Combat and Crafting Sunday School. This is really cool. Also, the folks there at Immortal City, every Sunday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central, learn the tricks and trade of combat and crafting. The 500 Crown Fishy Contest is going on as a persistent event run by Sonia Solar. The Island of Wonders monthly fishing contest, the RHEC Traveling Pop-Up Fishing Contest, and he has a special edition of this now. I'm going to link this to you. There's a special PvP version of it coming up that's going to take place, I think, from the 16th to the 22nd. Yeah, and lots of great prizes, and I just made him some trophies for that one. Lightbringer Isle auction, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Sutton's Lightbringer Isle welcome you to the weekly auction, so don't miss out on that. That's every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. We have a new, I'm just going to list out the new fan fiction that just came in just this week, Arachnophilia. It's written by Wambi, guys, and it's a super creepy story. Yes, about spider-human hybrid babies. So, but it is actually a really creepy story. It would have been really fitting for Halloween for sure. Be sure to check that story out and give them a thank you. It's very entertaining. New community resources, Dragon Slayer leaderboard, and sodaprices.com. And then we have community calendars. We also posted up the Avatar's Virtue Radio calendar up here as well. That's a Google calendar. And then here is the one run by Thorico Mara and friends, if you want to check that one out. And that's all I got.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, well, let's do some prizes here and get out of here so I can save some energy to work on some performance stuff here. Another one I was going to point out to people, I just noticed I had mine all the way up, was for performance stuff in pots. One of the bigger things that can help more is adjusting your level of detail. This is one we give you an option if you're on a lower card. We do actually modify your LOD for you based on your performance. This gives you a way you can modify it some more, so if you want to. So again, being in a town, turning down your LOD, it just makes stuff pop a little bit earlier or adjust to the lower detail version, which you can actually see. Some things have not great LOD detail, or LODs if you turn them all the way down. But anyways, let us do some prizes there. Do you want to call the names, the prize name, or the person?
I'll do the names. I accept that challenge.
Okay. Well, I got to start off here with a tough item name to win. And again, this is hopefully you guys all got in on this, but if you don't know, if you're new on the stream, you can get into this by just saying in game. We didn't tell you how to win. We just assume you all know at this point. But you say in game, you go and say the prize, the phrase in game, and the phrase is obviously, we all know what the phrase is. The phrase is
Oh, I have it right here.
Live life in full bloom.
There you go.
Totally knew what that was. Just trying to build a little drama. But anyways, first up here is Bolton. Oh, and if you say it now, you don't have a chance of winning because I already did the drawing. Sorry. Bolton, maroon, leather, Chesterfield, sofa, and chair.
And these items go to Mary May, Elier DeRoque, Vero, and Leif Erikson.
Ah, my favorite Viking. The white Lepus mask goes to...
Oh, the Taxman of Paxlair? What? Uthgar Krakenwolf, Blaze Garzank, and Dulum Jazleko.
Oh, and I've got a lot of people to thank here, too. I will do that right after. Oh, and I got to pick a song, too. Oh, man. Flower Crown goes to...
Goes to Nick Nilba. I want to see what... It's Abe Lincoln spelled backwards. And we got Deernbrand. Congratulations. Also... Delane Lachlan and Ishmar. Congratulations.
Let's see. Next up is the Thorn Wand.
Goes to Asmodi Mool, Orhan Bensgay, Cherry, and Dennis Vitamin.
And then last but not least, sorry, I was over here being distracted looking for some lyrics for a song to sing that I would not butcher too badly. Did you guys all enjoy your Atos' greatest hits for April Fool's Day? The last but not least prize, Spring Fountain with Floating Candles. Oh, I love that one, but it's one of the performance hogs that I always track down. It's like, oh, this floating candle, it's got a lot of different pieces to it, a lot of materials on it, and lights, and water with a translucent to it.
Was I not supposed to turn the lights back on?
Oh, no. The lights
I made sure they didn't generate shadows. All right, we got the Spring Fountain goes to Belladonna Rose, Chaos Shadowstorm, Adventure Club, and Michael Dragon Breath. Congratulations, guys.
All right, and let me do some thanking. Let's see if we still have enough. We have all the people on there. Let's see. I'm going to try to thank you at least one time here. You guys know who you are, the guys who do great out there. Oh, there's some new names out there. I like that. Blaze Garsink, Woodrow Beefcakes. That's one I've seen before, but 900 bits from him. Thank you very much. Spellfire. Oh, Woodrow Beefcakes, 5,000. Man, hold on. I'm going to do something for that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Woodrow, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold on. I'm going to click one more button there. While I read this stuff off, because I need to stall for a second. Thank you, Woodrow. All due to your generosity, Woodrow. I'm doing one extra round of prizes for you. And thank you, Eileen. Thank you, Radicus. Bridge Troll. Thank you. Bridge Troll, how did you not follow this? Maybe that's a new account. Lord Stein of Owl's Head. Thank you for the sub. Miskabel. Thank you for the sub. Sean of Pax Lair. Old friend. Thank you. Zolrath. New follow. We're getting a lot of new follows out there. I like that. Again, for those who don't know, we have actually upped our advertising quite a bit, and it looks very promising, so I'm actually excited. But let's see, back to the thing here. Lord J. Oliver, thank you. Hollyhock, another long time. And Radicus, again, Mad Chef of Xenos. John Marcus, a good friend who lets me sing. I just want to sing. 7 Midnights, thank you. That's a new name. Skeggy, as always. Mandalar, Dices, Submarine Mike. Man, you guys are all generous today. Suzor. Mandalar again, Puddlefoot 21, Mad Chef of Xenos. Gravity 42, John Marcus, as always, awesome. I am Fam Bam. That's a follow. Okay, and I think that was it for this round. Did my prizing not work? Why did my prizing not work? Where's the prizing? Hold on.
Oh yeah, one more.
Trying it one more. I was going to do one more because Beefcake there threw in at the last minute. Beefcake!
I can start reading out like who's streaming. We've got
pick a streamer.
Yeah, we've got 6 streamers up right now besides us. Streamer Shroud of the Avatar. We've got the Graceful Bard, Big Tex Games. We've got Vic Cannon, Save to Grill, and he just recently won the one of the 3rd place for the video contest last release.
Oh, awesome!
Serpent Wine and Revenant 84.
So who are we gonna do? I'm gonna make you pick. I'll put you on the spot.
I don't know. Maybe Save to Grill. As a thank you for making that video and stuff. That was awesome.
Save the Grill.
Looks like he's in a lava area. Maybe lava fishing. Looks like Oracle Colossus, maybe, from the thumbnail.
Man, Woodrow Beefcakes is in a generous mood. You guys should all be throwing a big thanks over to Woodrow there. Because of him, we're going to give out another round of prizes here. I'm going to read these really quick. And we're rating Save the Grill. Let me read off the extra round of prizes. This is the bonus round of prize courtesy of Woodrow Beefcakes because we're all in a good mood. The maroon leather Chesterfield sofa chair goes to Versago. The white Lepus mask goes to Garrett. The flower crown goes to Freyer Grimmer. The thorn wand goes to Savage Chuck. Are you really that savage, Chuck? Are you? Spring fountain with floating candles goes to Graham Wormsbane. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Woodrow Beefcakes. Super generous. And now we will raid. For those who don't know, if you're new to the stream, we used to have a tradition where we'd do things like take shots and stuff like that when somebody would buy a pledge. If we did it on stream, and you guys would make us drunk to the point of throwing up in some cases, or just falling asleep at the desk or whatever. We decided to do away from that, but we do like to show our appreciation for people when you do things. So if you want to torture me, and actually I enjoy it, it's you who is tortured. But if you give 1337 bits during a stream, I will torture the audience with a song. This one is courtesy of John Marcus, but let's raid Save to Grill, and I will sing you guys out. And this is the song I'm doing, assuming that works. Nope. What am I doing? Oh, that's not going to work there. I was trying to do a raid on our chat. Let's see if I can do it over here. There we go. We're homeschooling my daughter, so she's doing her own music stuff. So we're actually playing around with some ukulele stuff and trying to get her to do some ukulele stuff. And this is one, if you're doing a ukulele, they try to teach you this song early on. It's a really easy one to play on a ukulele. It only has about 4 chords to it. But it's also a fun song, so I'll be singing that. We're going to raid Save to Grill. You can pick whoever you want to if you don't like them, but we are going officially to them. I was scared of dentist and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. Oh, all my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dream. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh, and they come unstuck. Lady running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I want to be your left-hand man. Well, I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. All right, guys. That's enough torturing for you guys. Thanks for hanging in there. John Marcus, thank you so much. Beefcake, thank you so much. And let's go raid Save the Grill. We will see you guys next week. I'm going to get a patch out tomorrow morning, turn on the extra experience, and now let's go. Bam!